know, we covered a lot. One last question. I know you created a pretty awesome like sleep hacking presentation, and you supposedly went from like 8 hours of sleep to now like 6 hours of sleep and lots of energy. Everybody always wants more energy to get more stuff done without having to chug down more and more coffee.
Yeah.
How have you gone about doing that? And how can we do the same?
Well, I guess the broad framework is like learning about best practices and doing self-experimentation in tandem. But like some really quick, easy tips. Just general understanding like how well rested you feel isn't determined upon the volume of sleep you got. It's determined how much good sleep you got. So you can sleep. The reason why if you go out at night drinking or have a pint of ice cream or whatever it is and sleep 8 hours and still feel like crap the next day, it's because you didn't actually get any deep sleep, which is sleep which allows you to feel rested and restored cognitively. So, you know, the fact that there's a certain sleep stage that you can, the fact that you can like try to optimize for like really good sleep is what allows you to cut down your sleep and still feel more rested. So things you can do to improve your deep sleep, a lot of them are pretty simple. For one, like exercise, be active. The reason that that's important is a big component of deep sleep is like the degree to which your body temperature actually oscillates 2 degrees every single day. So like, you know, I might be like 98.5 right now, I might be 96.5 when I'm in the middle of my sleep. Bottom line is that the longer amount of time that you can have a low sustained temperature, the more conducive you have to like getting deep sleep. One of the things that allows you to achieve a really low temperature is to achieve a higher temperature during the day. And one of the things that rapidly increases our temperature and creates the maximum oscillation is exercise, it's physical activity. So doing strenuous physical activity for 10 to 30 minutes a day has a huge impact. Another thing that's important is regulating the amount of sunlight you get, or high intensity light. Our bodies naturally produce 2 hormones that affect our sleep and energy. One is serotonin, the other is melatonin. You might have seen like melatonin pills. Serotonin is basically a drug or a hormone that makes you happy and it wakes you up. And the way to activate that is to get sunlight early in the day. So like if you can do a morning walk, or if you can not wear sunglasses to work, but be outside and be in the sun early, you're gonna get your serotonin started earlier. In the evening, produce melatonin. That's what happens when it gets dark out. When you produce melatonin, you start to get tired. And it's essentially the hormone that makes you fall asleep. If you do things like interact with your computer or your TV or your cell phone frequently before sleep, you're actually going to inhibit the production of melatonin, which is not only going to make it harder to fall asleep, it's going to make it harder to get deep sleep. So you essentially, there's a few things you can do. Avoid electronic devices and I guess the reason why is those devices emit a blue light that our bodies think is sunlight because it's like such a high intensity blue light. So you can avoid those devices. You can download specific software, like there's this tool I use called Flux, F.lux, I think. It dims the light on my computer screen, takes away all the blue light like after like 5 o'clock in the evening, so that it's not affecting my melatonin production. Another one you can buy, like, this is kind of weird, I don't recommend doing this if it's like a first date. You can buy sunglasses that block out blue light. So if you want to watch TV, you don't want it to mess up your sleep, you can buy those. Another important thing that I didn't know when I started off this is like how close you should eat before you go to sleep. So when we eat a big meal close when we go to sleep, our body's going to be digesting that meal while we're sleeping. That process of digestion is taking away resources that could be allocated for us to like cognitively like get a deeper sleep. So the idea is that you want to avoid having a big meal up until 3 hours before you go to sleep, so that you give yourself the body the ability to digest that food while you're not sleeping, so that you can focus as much cognitive energy as possible as on getting deep sleep. So those are 3 easy tips. There's like a million tips. One thing that actually has really helped me is this is kind of dorky, but I wear breathe right strips when I sleep, and I used to wake up a lot because like I'd start to like snore, like breathe through my nose, or I'd like have trouble, like my nose get clogged. Breathe right strips like ensure your nasal passages are open throughout the night, which makes it easier to breathe, doesn't cause any disruption when you're sleeping. So those are just a few things that definitely help.
Really awesome. So we'll definitely send out that slide deck, and then also the tips on how to find people's email address. It's a pretty nice blog post. But on that note, unless there's any questions, we'd like to thank Scott very much
Just
for coming.
real quick, so is there like an email list or something for this group? All right, so I have 2 courses, one on sleep optimization and one on Gmail productivity, like how to actually just be really good at Gmail. I'm gonna give him free codes. So to hook all you guys up, they're both like 4 or 5 hours long, all video based online. So you don't have to like show up at the alley at 7 o'clock on Monday night again, listen to blabber. But we'll hook all you guys up in the email, so look out for those.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Scott.